Hi everybody, Adelia Kirchner with the Tennessee Conservative here. Just hopping on here real quick to give you a little bit of an update as we begin to wrap up the 2025 legislative session. We are in the home stretch, my friends. That is for certain. The budget got passed this week in both the House and the Senate. That was Wednesday. It was taken up by the Finance, Ways and Means committees, I think on Monday and Tuesday. And so, yeah, $59.5 billion? It's pretty much a $60 billion budget. So there's that. 8 million of those dollars tacked on at the last minute via an appropriations amendment. And that $8 million is going to go to funding local primaries. Now, in the committee process, it was reiterated a couple times, I think, especially on the Senate side, that this was an appropriations amendment. The $8 million was in relation to Jack Johnson and Lee Reeves' bill that took away local GOP's ability to choose to do a caucus or convention instead of a primary election for local positions, right? Well, you get to House proceedings yesterday, and all of a sudden, there's no connection between the $8 million and that bill that was passed. There's absolutely zero connection. It's two completely separate things. There's nothing to do with anything. I think there's quite a bit of smugness that goes on up here. If you want a good example of it, go watch Representative Ryan Williams try to respond to the questions about the $8 million on the House floor yesterday. But yeah, I don't know. It's all relatively interesting, y'all. There's a couple articles up about the budget on our website, TennesseeConservativeNews.com. So if you're interested, go check that out. It is currently, I don't know, feels like 70-something degrees out here. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I'm sweating a little bit, but it is a nice change of pace from sitting in the Senate gallery because it is freezing up there, freezing. I didn't bring my winter coat with me to the Senate, so I guess that's my fault. Teeth were chattering, joints were aching. Don't make fun of me, I know I'm young, okay? I'm working through my health issues. Anyways, moving on. What else is interesting this week? Okay, so behind the budget bills. Typically, in the past, when we've reported on bills being placed behind the budget, a lot of the time that pretty much means that bill is done for the year. It's not moving anywhere. There's not funding for it, so why would it move? Because the governor's proposed budget pretty much takes precedent over anything that lawmakers bring. So if it doesn't kind of fit in that, and the, finance people can't make it fit into the budget by removing something that they disagree with from the governor's proposal, then, it's kind of kaput for that year because there's no money behind it. But when something is placed behind the budget, the bill sponsors do have a chance, or whoever wrote the bill, whoever's, pushing this bill does have the chance to kind of talk to the governor's office, talk to other members, see what the vibes are, see if they can quite possibly find funding somewhere, whether that's by removing funding for something else or adding more money to the budget. There's different ways to do it. So a good example of this is probably going to be House Bill 322. I don't remember this. I think the Senate number on that is 392, I think, or something like that. Anyways, it's by Senator Brent Taylor, and Representative Chris Todd is carrying it. It was originally Representative Jody Barrett carrying it, and they had to kind of adjust things for the sake of politics. But anyways, it's human smuggling. It creates the offense of human smuggling, harboring, hiding. It has to do with illegal immigration. It's a pretty decent bill. There's articles up on our website about it, so you should go check those out. But anyways, so that was placed behind the budget in the House, and then went on to actually be heard on the Senate floor, discussed on the Senate floor, and passed on the Senate floor yesterday, which was Wednesday. So I'm filming today, Thursday, and you guys are going to see this Friday. So apologies for the messy timeline, but that's just what we're working with up here. Anyways, so this human smuggling bill passes in the Senate, even though it's already been placed behind the budget. So typically, if something is still progressing in one chamber after being placed behind the budget in the other chamber, it's kind of like, okay, well, they must be trying to find a way to fund that. And so it is possible that bill is going to make its way out from behind the budget next week, which is when they're going to be looking at various bills that were placed behind the budget and seeing which ones that they will pull out. But yeah, we're getting through this, y'all. And let's see, what else have we got going on? Oh, if you haven't already, there is an interview with Representative Kirk Haston that we've put out this week. He's out of Lobelville, which is, I think he represents Perry County, Decatur, and a few other ones, but that would be out about an hour and a half west of Nashville. So if you are in his district or interested in hearing a politician from a more rural district speak on education and hospitals and the different initiatives that he is interested in when he comes up here to represent the people of his district, then you should check out that interview. Another interview we have is going to be coming out this week, Friday, should be. Senator Mark Pody sat down with me, and it was a really enjoyable conversation. That man is just real charismatic and entertaining, and I like him quite a bit. He's a good conservative legislator that we have up here. And then what else? Oh, if you didn't see it, there was a bill that kind of altered the family life curriculum that Tennessee public schools have, and that this bill is going to add something called the success sequence. And so it's not necessarily doing anything but showing students like the statistics on, hey, if you get your certifications or your education or whatever it is you need to be successful in the workforce, and you get married before having children versus the other way around, the statistics are that you will do better financially in the long run, or there will be more stability in that aspect of things. And so it's not saying always, it's not saying you have to do everything in your life the way that we lay out in the success sequence. And it's not saying that if you follow the success sequence, you will 100% be successful, because, we all have lived life, we know life happens. But that being said, that bill has officially passed the House and the Senate, and earlier this week, I believe on Monday, we put out an interview with the bill sponsors, Representative Gino Bolso and Senator Janice Bowling, where they kind of reacted to its passage and explained what it does and why they felt, in their own words, it was important for them to bring and sponsor that legislation. So, yeah. As always, thank you guys for keeping up with everything we do. We greatly appreciate it. And I guess we'll all just have to wait and see what happens next week. I mean, we're in the thick of it, y'all. Things are happening left and right. It's hard to keep up even for a lot of the lawmakers up here. So if you're not reading our articles and watching our interviews, I mean, good luck trying to keep up. So what I recommend to you this weekend, here's your homework. So if you're seeing this Friday, you have Saturday and Sunday before the legislature comes back on Monday. So that means that this weekend, your homework is to make sure you're up to date on all the bills that we're following for you guys, and and where everything's at, just so that you can come back next week and read our articles without any confusion, because you know exactly what's going on, because you're informed. And while you're at it, of course, check a few other publications. Compare and contrast, man. You know, get your conservative leaning and get your leftist leaning and find your own personal conviction middle ground. Then go from there. Contact your lawmakers if you want to. All right, see y'all.